Okay, welcome to this class, students. And this is your science teacher. Already in our last class, we will discuss about the basic concept of the science, especially chemistry, that is about matter. Yes, sir. Hmm. So, in this class, directly I am going to start your syllabus. Okay. See. So, the students who have not a textbook with you, please come to school and get admission and take a textbooks because today onwards I am going to start your syllabus. See, this is your 9th standard science textbook. Okay. For your 9th standard, totally you have 15 lessons. 15 lessons. Okay. Now come on, let us start the lesson. Chapter number 1, matter in our surroundings. Okay. So already in the basic class, I clearly told about this matter. Understand? See, in a universe, the everything is made up of matter. We say everything is made up of a matter. See, this matter. So what is matter? Already you know, anything that occupies space and has mass, that we call it as a matter. Anything that occupies space, what you see in your surroundings, the materials, everything is considered as matter. It may be your door, bench, your bag, your pen, anything what you see, that is called as a matter because all things occupy space and they have mass. So that we call it as a matter. If anything, if it is occupied space and if it has a mass, just say it is a matter. Everything has a particular name. See, here textbook is there. I have textbook here now. You know this is a textbook, but I call it as a matter. You know why? It also occupies space. It occupies space and this textbook also have mass. It has a mass. Hence we call this textbook is also called as a matter. Yes or no? Okay. And come to this next. We say matter is made up of a particle. Matter is made up of a particle. In ancient days, our Indian saint is there. There was a saint. He's named as Maharshi Kanada. Who's that? Maharshi Kanada. The great Indian saint. He told about matter. He also told Maharshi Kanada, matter is made up of paramanu. Matter is made up of paramanu. Understand? That we call simply now it as a particle. But he used that word paramanu. It's a Sanskrit word. So parama means in English it is a final or indivisible. Final or indivisible. Anu means what? Particle. Anu means a particle. Anu means what? Particle. Okay. So even Maharshi Kanada in those days already told matter is made up of a paramanu. Okay, paramanu means its word meaning is that paramanu means final or indivisible. It cannot be divisible again. But nowadays, the 21st century, 20th century scientists they told that even this particle can be divisible. They showed to the world. We will discuss about that in a next time. Okay. Paramanu means final or indivisible, and it's a particle, indivisible particle, and he called it as a paramanu. Okay, let it. So, how are these paramanu particle? Can we see them? No. They are very minute, very tiny particles are there. We cannot see with our naked eyes well. Imagine they are very smaller particles. They are very tiny particles. Matter is a made up of a particles. They are very smaller. Okay. Then in your textbook they are given the characteristics of particle. The characteristics of particle. Let us discuss. What are the characteristics of that particle? See. characteristics of particles. So what is the first characteristic of that particle? Remember, matter is made up of particle. Particles are very tiny particles. We cannot see that particles with our naked eye. Understand? And these particles also have certain characteristics. These particles also have certain characteristics. Which are those characteristics? Let us see first one. Particles of matter are continuously moving. They are continuously moving. This is the first characteristic of a matter. Understand? See, particles of matter are continuously moving. That means particles of that matter have a kinetic energy. What? Kinetic energy. You know what kinetic energy means what? It is a type of energy. Understand? See, kinetic energy. This is especially leads with the motion. We will discuss about that kinetic energy in the next chapters in your next standard. Okay, don't worry. So the first characteristic of that particle is that they are continuously moving. Understand? If you increases the temperature of a matter, if you increases the temperature of a matter, automatically their kinetic energy will also increase. Understand? If you increase the temperature of any matter, automatically the kinetic energy of that particles will also increase. Understand? So the motion of these particles in matter is very high at a high temperature. It's very high at a high temperature. Understand? Remember, the particles of matter are continuously moving. Clear or no? This is the first characteristic of particles. We come to the second characteristics. The second characteristic is there. They have space between them. Have space between them. The second main characteristic of a matter, particles of a matter. Okay, what is that? Have space between them. So how can we understand this characteristic, sir? Understand? So already I told about the continuously moving. Understand? Particles of matter are continuously moving. Clear or not? Because they have a certain kinetic energy. If you increase the temperature of that matter, the motion of the particles becomes very high. Understand? That's so. Let's come second one. Have space between them. I will say with example. I will explain with the example. Take a water. I think already you might made a lemonade in your home or tea in your home. What do you need ingredients to make a lemonade or what? Tea. Just consider lemonade. Okay. If you want to make a lemonade, what you need first? Water, lemon, sugar and salt. Yes sir. Lemon juice, then water, sugar and salt. By using these four ingredients, you can make a lemonade. First, you take a water in a beaker or you can glass. Use a water. You can use a glass in your house. Okay, take a water. Then pour some drops of that lemon juice in a water. That lemon juice completely mix up with water. Can you see that lemon drops in the water? No, you can't see that because they are completely mixed up with water. Because the particles of that water have space between them. So these lemon juice particles they can mix up with that water particle. Then take a sugar. Take a small amount of sugar and stir it well in that water. That is solution. Even sugar particles are also completely get mixed up with that solution. Again, you can't see that sugar particles because sugar particles can completely dissolve in that water. That means how, sir? Remember, that is the main characteristic. Particles of matter have space between them. Understand? So, so particles of one matter get into space between the particles of other matter. The particles of one matter get into space between particles of other matter. In last, you can take a small amount of salt and stir it well against that mixture of solution. Again, you can't see that salt in that solution because it completely get mixed up with that solution. Because this is particles of one matter, they get space into particles of another matter. Understand? So this is the second main characteristic of that particle. Particles of matter have space between them. Because you can see that same in a way whenever you are making a tea. First you have to take that water, then you are pouring a sugar in that, then you can again take adding a tea powder in that mixture. Understand? So take any substance and stir it well and it get completely mix up with that. Because particles of one, remember this very important, particles of one matter get into space between particles of another matter. Understand? ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. ನೀವು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸಣ್ಣ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ತಗೋರಿ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ಒಂದು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಬೋಲ್ ತಗೋರಿ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಪಾತ್ರೆ ತಗೋರಿ. ತಗೊಂಡ್ರಿ ಜಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ಲು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ನಿಮಗೆ? ಜಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ಲನ್ನು ತಗೋರಿ. ಜಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ಲನ್ನು ಹಾಕ್ರಿ. ಜಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ಲನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮರಳನ್ನು ಹಾಕ್ರಿ. ಆ ಮರಳು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಮರಳು ಹಾಕಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಿರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಮುಗೀತಪ್ಪ ಇನ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಆನಂತರ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ನೀರು ತಗೋರಿ, ನೀರನ್ನು ಹಾಕ್ರಿ. ನೀರು ಕೂಡ ಹಿಂಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಯ್ತು ನೀರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಜಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ಲಿನ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊರಿ. ಅದ್ರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮರಳು ಹೋಗಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಮರಳಿನ ಕಣಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನೀರು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ತರ ದ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಒನ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಅನದರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್. ಇವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಓಕೆ, ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ particles are varying and have particles of matter attract each other. Attract each other. Particles of matter attract each other. See, first character is there. Particles of matter are continuously moving. Second, they have space between them. Third one, attract each other. They attract each other. Okay, how? So the solid material. Solid, we generally say solids have definite shape and size. They cannot be compressible even. You know why? Particles are very strong. Understand? Bodies is very strong. There is a strong force of attraction between a particle. We say in solids, molecules are very systematically arranged, and there is a strong force of attraction between the particles. That is why. Hence we say particles of matter attract each other. Understand? I will give one small example. Understand? So if we have tap in your home, okay, make it start, open that tap water and try to break that stream of water with your finger. Okay, just on the tap water will come, the stream of water will come. Try to break that stream of water with your finger. Is it possible? No, it is not possible. You know why? The particles of that matter, water, they are very attractive. They attract each other. Hence you can't break that stream of water with your finger. Best example is there. Try to do it in your home and check it. Okay, this is very small example. One example is enough to understand this third characteristic of matter. Particles of matter attract each other. Clear or no? These are the three basic characteristics of particles of matter. Matter is made up of particles, and particles has a certain properties. There are three properties are there. Remember, I will read one by one. Particles of matter continuously moving. Particles of matter have space between them. Particles of matter attract each other. Okay, students, let's know some important points. The space between particles and kinetic energy of particles is minimum in solids. In a solid, if you consider the solids, space is very less is there. Very less space is there because particles are very closely arranged. And interspace is very less, and even also kinetic energy is also very less in solids. And particles of that solid materials cannot move easily. Understand? They cannot move easily. Hence we say the space between particles and kinetic energy of particles minimum in solids and intermediate in liquids. And intermediate in liquids and maximum in gases. Interspace is very large is there in gases, and kinetic energy is very fast, very high is there. Hence, that is why we say air. Best example, air is there. Air is a what is that? Gas. Best example for that gas. Where is air? We say when we ask someone to you, where is air? You should say where air is everywhere. Because air can flow everywhere because the particles of that matter. The particles of that matter of gas. The kinetic energy is very high in gases. Kinetic energy is very high in gases. Understand? Let's come. The force of attraction. If you consider the force of attraction, the force of attraction between particles is very strongest in the solids. Strongest in solids and intermediate in liquids and weaken in gases. They are weakest in gases. When we consider the force of attraction in the case of solids is very strongest is there. In liquids is the intermediate is there. Intermediate madhyama pramanadalli irutte. The gases and it's very weakest is there. Okay. Okay, now students, I hope you understood this basic characteristics of particles. In the next classes, we will discuss about states of matter. What? States of matter. Okay. Thank you for watching this class, students. We will meet in the next classes with the next concept, that is states of matter. So try to read this text in your home. Okay. Thank you.